It's your local speechy here, and I'm finally making a video all about my clients and all about my client sessions. I feel like it's been so long since I have finally been able to like sit down and try to make a video about this. We almost have like a few more sessions until we're done with the semester, but I'm finally here and I'm finally talking about my clinical stuff. This morning I just had my first session, which started at 9 a.m. Kind of sucky. We're here bright and early, but I do have some tea. It's caramel oolong tea. I'm pretty excited, although I've burnt my mouth on this 3 times. I like made it an hour and a half ago and it's still burning hot, but that's beside the point. Okay, so my first session just ended from what I was saying, and my first session is a telehealth therapy client, so we meet through Zoom. I'm just at the clinic right now though because I have a client later today, like less than an hour at the clinic. So usually I just wake up at my house and do the Zoom session there and then drive here right after, but I felt like this setting looked better for me talking about clinic, and I'd rather give you guys a tour of the clinic than of my house. So my 9 a.m. sessions are Monday and Friday, and it's with a little girl and it's through telehealth. So we meet through Zoom and we meet our supervisor through Zoom, and we do the whole session on Zoom as well. And for this client, it's kind of hard to talk about what we're doing. First I'll say that the client has a language, she definitely has a language disorder. She doesn't do well with receptive or expressive language, but the problem with us is that we weren't able to fully collect baseline data to figure out where she was at because she just was not cooperating with us. In the beginning, we would make so many activities and try to get her to work with us. She just wasn't about that, and I think the Zoom setting just does not work for her. Anyway, these sessions for this client have been extremely difficult. Halfway through, we rescheduled timing and days because her mom thought that maybe it would work better and maybe she would cooperate better if we changed the time to in the morning instead of the afternoon. It turns out that did not help. So we rescheduled halfway through, and then like a week after that, nothing was working still. She just can't handle structured routine right now. And you know, like being home with the pandemic and everything, I feel like it's just very chaotic for like her whole family and everything. So because of that, we changed our format. So instead of us directly talking to the little girl and, you know, giving her directions and asking questions, we are observing the mom. So now it's more like a behavioral therapy, I guess you can kind of say, but not really, because, you know, obviously we aren't trained fully to talk about behavioral therapy. So I don't want to say that and be wrong. We just basically give her strategies and things to implement throughout her day so she can try to work on language with her daughter. Today we gave a PowerPoint on asking questions and modifying the questions and giving different choices. Last week we talked about, you know, concrete questions and not asking abstract questions. So basically in the beginning of the sessions, we ask her like, how did you feel your week went? What strategies were you able to implement? And just stuff like that. And then we observe, and then at the end we talk about what she did well and what she could, you know, modify, and then just give her more strategies to use throughout the week, since the next time we see her is on a Friday. So it's not like we're reinforcing anything throughout the week, it's only her doing it. We really try to ask these questions so it makes her think about what she's doing and different things that she can do to elicit language. Okay, so I finally talked about that client. I also wanted to show off my badge. After talking about that client, I wanted to share with you what was in my clinic bag and what I bring every day to clinic. I did talk about this in my day in the life of a graduate student video. So if you are listening to this twice, you know, welcome back. I'm glad you're here for another video. Okay, so really quickly. So this purse is basically what I use for my other clients, since, you know, the first client is telehealth. I don't really need to bring anything, but so for my second client, which I'll talk about in a second, I have my little notebook that says Loyola, which I find is ironic, but I take all my notes here for what he's does during the session, and that basically is the data that I use for our session plan notes. Next, I have our clear face mask that we use with him. We use these so that clients can, see our mouth and really get the additional visual cues while we're talking with them. Next, I have my handy dandy school bag from undergrad. It's from NSHLA, which is the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association. I think they're so cute, and also I don't own any other pencil bag, so this is what I bring for all my pencils. And then after that, I have my handy dandy spray hand sanitizer because we are in a pandemic. I love this spray hand sanitizer. It's so convenient and easy. Okay, so now that I finished talking about my clinical bag, I'm like really excited I'm getting this all done. My next session starts at 11:30 and it goes until 12:15. So in a second, I'm gonna run up to that room and, start preparing for that session. But before that, I really wanted to quickly talk about my client. So my 11:30 client is only on Monday, and we usually meet at the clinic right here in Towson. So this client had a stroke a couple years ago, and he had brochus aphasia after this stroke. So he only speaks telegraphically. So telegraphic speech is when they can say few things in a sentence, so they can get out a name and like a place, when they're talking about a story, but they can't fully put it together to convey that message, if you know what I mean. Like, they can't make a full complete sentence and tell you all about that story. They're just gonna give you like Bob Beach. So yeah, with him, we're basically working on expanding his utterances and getting him to convey a full sentence out to his communication partners. Throughout this whole semester, we've been working a lot on playing headbands. So if you don't know, headbands is where you have like an object or something on a card and you put it on your head and you can't see it, so the other person has to describe it. So we've been doing that with semantic feature analysis. We've done bingo to do word retrieval and semantic feature analysis. We've worked on picture cards to elicit a sentence with. And today we are going to do headbands again, just because it's our favorite. And then we are also going to try working on some scripts, which we essentially want to see how he does conveying his message across to someone. So we are basically going to bring in some restaurant menus and just really get him to try and convey the message and what food he wants to order at this specific restaurant. And then after that, we are going to play a card game. We're going to play War. With him, we make sure to write down all the rules so that he can get that language model as well. And then throughout the game, we're going to try to implement different language modeling as well, so he can say a sentence when he puts down a card. Like in War, when you all put the cards down at once, we could try to do that, and then we could all say the card that we're putting down at the same time so that he can get that language model. After the 11:30 client, I have to stay at the clinic for a few hours because on Wednesday we have a diagnostic evaluation, which is like 3 hours long. But I'm leading it for the next 2 weeks. So I have to stay at the clinic and really prepare and practice assessments and practice the ceiling and the basal and make sure that I'm aware of what I'm doing throughout the test. And it's a lot. I'm very nervous. It's the first time I'm leading. I'm gonna be here for a few hours working on that, and I'll definitely show you guys what I do to prepare for those sessions as well. Since I'm here in this room and finally able to kind of talk about things really quickly about clinical and clients and stuff, I really just wanted to have a little sit down chat and talk to you guys about what's happening in my life with grad school. I just want to say that it's gotten very stressful. We've had a lot of work to do, and I just learned that for Thanksgiving break, which is coming up soon, thankfully, I'm so excited, but we don't stop classes until the day before Thanksgiving, so I don't even have that whole week to relax. And then I learned that I have a short paper due and then a whole bunch of annotations due right after Thanksgiving break, so I feel like I'm not gonna get an off time at all. I'm feeling stressed out because I was given another client more than halfway through the semester, so it really messed up my schedule. It's just a lot of time management and figuring out your priorities, so what's important to you right now. I feel like I'm not doing anything for myself. I feel like I'm not taking any mental health breaks for myself, so I feel like everything that I came in to grad school with thinking that I was going to be able to do is not happening. And so I feel like very overwhelmed with all this pressure and stress from all the classes and all that happening. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna head up to the therapy room just so I can start getting ready and start grabbing assessments that I can look at after the client session. It's gonna be a very hectic day, and that's why I wanted to show you guys my day, because grad school's hectic and that's just the reality of it. Okay, other than that, I think I've talked for a little bit too long, and I'm going to get ready and go to the therapy room, and I'm going to set up. It's like 12:40. The session went really well. My partner just left to go work on her other sessions, but I still am in here, and I'm about to go work on all my diagnostic stuff in a second. But I was just really excited to say that the session went well. It's always fun to see my client. He's fun. He's close to our age too, so it's more of just like a hangout session for us. But the scripts and everything, ordering off the menu and headbands went great. We played War, so that was really fun. So now I'm going to go through all of these tests for my diagnostic session, and I'm gonna be in here for like an hour. I'm just gonna work through all these tests and hopefully, you know, understand them all by the end of it. Also, I finally finished my tea. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you what I was doing really quickly. So I'm going through each test. So I have the SLDT, and then I have the SEL5, and I also have the PPVT that we're going to administer. And basically right now I'm going through each subtest that we're going to look at, and I'm going to try to practice saying all of the, you know, prompts and cues and the example question that I'm supposed to ask. And then I'm writing down the basal and ceiling for each one, and if there's like a stimulus book or anything. And then I'm going through and making sure I have all these scanned forms ready to print out. It's a lot. Okay guys, it's 2:18. It's been a long time sitting in this chair. I think I've gone through everything. I'm just very nervous that I'm not going to be prepared on Wednesday, and I probably won't be. But this is all a learning experience, so it's okay. The session doesn't go well, it happens. I'm pretty stressed about my session because I made my session plan over the weekend, but my supervisor still has not checked off on anything, so I'm honestly going on a whim and just doing what I think is correct. So it's been very nerve-wracking and stressful to figure that all out because I don't know what I'm doing. But I just went through all the assessments, and I think I'm finally done at the clinic. I'm about to go put everything back, and then I'm gonna go to Dunkin' because I deserve it. And I'm excited, and I want Dunkin', and I'm very hungry also. And then after Dunkin', I know it's not a day in my life video, it's more of a clinical focused video. After Dunkin', I have a meeting at 4:30 with one of my supervisors about our one client, and then after that I'm gonna be doing homework all night. So fun day. Okay, but this is the ending of my Monday clinic day. My next day of clinic is on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I will have my diagnostic session from 9:30 to 12:30, and that's usually a time where we're just administering assessments. So like I said, we're administering all these assessments. And then on Wednesday, after my diagnostic session, I have another session at 2:30 with my other client that is also telehealth, and this client has a stutter, and this client was given to me halfway through the semester. I know I talked about it earlier, how stressed I was. So that's the client that was just kind of thrown on to my plate. He's really sweet, and he loves his toys, and he loves Avengers, and he's a very sweet client, so I'm happy to have him. But other than that, I'm gonna go eat get some Dunkin', get some coffee because I need it, and then I'm gonna do stuff for the rest of the day. Hey guys, it's like 8:20. I woke up at 6:40 today, so I'm not as exhausted as I thought. But I did make some oolong tea just in case, and I'm so excited to drink this. It's already getting cold, so I need to drink it quickly. But my diagnostic session starts at 9:30 today, and I am kind of freaking out. So my supervisor hasn't confirmed my plan still. Like the other night, she emailed me and said she wasn't able to open it because our OneDrive has been having difficulties all throughout Towson for some reason. But she wasn't able to open it, so I emailed it to her, and she never emailed back to let me know if she thought the plan was okay or if the tests I chose were right. That part I'm just going with my best clinical judgment. And then also, she's not going to be able to come into the clinic today to work with us because she had a family issue happen recently. So I understand that completely, but I'm just freaking out because everyone else on my team was able to have her in person near us, and what we needed to change and what we were doing right or wrong throughout the test. So I'm freaking out because we won't be able to have her throughout. She did give us her number at least. I have a feeling it's just gonna be really difficult to talk to her throughout the session and get feedback. I'm already running on a random plan that I made that she never said yes to, and I'm running on more clinical judgment that I don't have yet. And I got here early so I could set up the room and start practicing things and feel more comfortable. And I'm going to put sticky notes on all the pages that I need to turn to throughout each assessment. So I'm just trying to make it as easy as I can for myself. My team's probably not coming until 15 minutes or so, so I'm trying to get as much stuff ready as I can for myself. I don't want to freak them out with my nervousness, so I'm just gonna try to remain calm and figure it out. This is a real person that needs services at some point, and he needs information about his diagnosis, so I feel a lot of pressure to get this right. Also, I don't know if I ever talked about the client or not, but I'll talk about him really quickly before I go in. He has autism, he also has ADHD, he also has specific language impairment. He's got a lot going on, but he's a really fun kid. He's really nice and he's really smart, so I feel like he's gonna do great today. And his mom is extremely nice. She's such a huge advocate for him, and I love it. He loves artwork and drawing, so throughout school she tries to help him as much as she can. So she will go through and literally start creating art or bring in art aspects for him while he learns science. So he's able to understand science so much better because of that. Okay, I want to start going in and getting ready because the time's going by quickly and I need my time to set up. Okay. I'm so freaking excited because one of my team members is at McDonald's right now and she's getting us biscuits, and I'm so freaking excited for an egg and cheese biscuit. You guys don't know how much I love breakfast. I love it. Hey guys, it's me. It's 1:30 and I'm currently in a clinic room. I finished my diagnostic session, thankfully. I tried to get a cute city view in the background. I'm exhausted. It's been a very long morning. I've been up for way too long, but the evaluation went okay. We were able to finish the self and some of the SLDT, but we are planning on not finishing the SLDT for the next session just because it was just a lot for him. We could definitely tell he was very tired out from it, and we could already figure out his pragmatic skills based on the first few sections. We finished at around 12:30, but we stuck around for 30 minutes to figure out scoring and just make sure we all got the right scores, and then I'm sticking around later just so I can get some things done right before my next session, which is at 2:30. And my 2:30 session is with a little boy. He's absolutely adorable and he has a stutter, and we're working on him indirectly. So we're just trying to model slow, simple speech for him so that maybe he can learn to suppress his stutter through that. Anyway, it's raining outside as you can tell, and it makes me really want to take a nap so bad. But I'm gonna stay here until my next session, and I'm just gonna work on progress reports and diagnostic reports that I need to get done. And I brought lunch. I made a peanut butter honey sandwich. I'm so excited to eat it. But yeah, that's basically my plan. I'm so exhausted. I'm running out of breath from talking, honestly. I'm just glad the diagnostic session went well. I slipped up a few times and I didn't catch the basal at one point, but it's okay. Today is done and I feel so much freer. Hey guys, I'm back with the lovely view of the rain. It's getting hotter in this building, so I took off my jacket. But oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting greasier throughout the day. Like if you looked at me in the beginning of the day compared to now, I probably look like a grease ball. Like I'm ready to take a shower. Anyway, it's like 3:30 right now and we just finished our session with our stuttering client, and oh my gosh, I felt so bad for him today because he had a lot of disfluencies. It just seemed like he was, struggling a lot more than usual, and I think he has a lot of distraction in the background, and I just think he's a kid with a very busy family, so I think, sitting down and relaxing with us is just kind of hard to do. We were definitely given notes from our supervisor that we could have definitely simplified our language more, and after we started seeing him use more disfluencies, we should have modified our therapy and made it easier and less taxing for him because he was definitely struggling, and I felt really bad for him because at times I just didn't know what to do or what to help him with. Next week, we're definitely going to try to hit more activities that are targeting one word and eliciting simplified language, because I think today was just very difficult for him, and I just don't think he's at that point yet where we can try to gauge phrase level utterances from him yet. So right now, I'm going to be inputting data points into our session note for him and writing in notes about the session in general. Session plan notes are something that you have to do for each and every session. It's something that you do right after each session and each client that you have, and typically after every session I either call or text my partners and we kind of conclude on everything and agree on what we're writing, and then we turn it in to our supervisor to check off. I'm still at the clinic because I am going to pop into my friend's session with her client. They also have a client that has a stutter, and apparently he's adorable, so I'm excited to meet him. They want to discharge this client soon because I think they believe that his stutter has decreased significantly and that he should be able to stop services after this semester. So they want to bring someone in to converse with him to see how well he does with someone random. So I agreed to do that, but that isn't until 4 o'clock. So I'm just gonna get some work done before then. Hey guys, I've been at clinic for approximately 8 hours of today. I just finished my friend's session with her client, and her client is absolutely adorable. But for now, I don't think I have anything else to do at this clinic, and I want to go home and shower so bad. You've been here with me for a solid 8 hours of the day. Wednesday is my last clinic day. I do have a morning session on Friday at 9:30 before work, and I talked about that client already and those sessions, so I'm probably not filming that day just because I do wake up and have to go straight to work right after, so there's no time for me to talk or anything. I'm sure you guys want me to talk about clinic and me being a first year grad student and how it's going, and I'll say it's definitely stressful, hectic. It's a lot of things to figure out with classes and clinic, and just time management wise, it's a lot. It's a lot to be thrown into. As an undergrad, I don't think we get any hands-on experience at all. Everything is pretty much new. All the forms, all the documents, progress reports, so many things are new. It definitely got better as I went, and I appreciate being thrown into it now. Like, I appreciate having this experience. I will say that this grad program is very on and off with stress. So there's some weeks where I don't feel stressed that much, and then there's some weeks where I just feel like everything is piling up and there's nothing I can do about it. We're getting there. It is November. It is almost Thanksgiving break, even though I still have so much to do over Thanksgiving break. There's at least a little break. And then we have finals. I'm still am enjoying it. I love being able to meet the clients and meet the families and try to figure out how to help them with a problem. I think that's everything I have to talk about clinic for now. Yeah, that was my clinic day. It was Wednesday and I finished Monday and I showed you Monday. It's about time for me to go home, probably go to bed early. Thank you for watching me as always, and I appreciate you guys checking in and seeing how I'm doing and what I'm doing, and I just feel so appreciative to be able to talk to you guys and tell you guys about my story and my journey. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever I have time to film the next video.